Miss Kristen here from Middle Country Public Library. Today we are going to do a Storycraft. We're going to read a fun book about a snowflake, and with our take and make bags that you picked up, we are going to make this super cool beaded snowflake decoration for you to put in your room or somewhere in your house to make your winter more fun. Today we will read the book The Smallest Snowflake by Bernadette Watts with permission from Simon & Schuster. Long ago, in a land where villages nestled between tall mountains, another winter was coming. High in the sky, geese were flying south. Higher still, snowflakes were gathering. "Where will we go?" asked one snowflake excitedly. "Who can say?" said another. "Wherever the wind blows us," said a third. "To some place special," whispered the smallest snowflake very softly. A little wind sprang up, whistling through the bare trees, bending the tall pines, running away with children's kites. The snowflakes began to drift and dance. "It's time," they whispered. At last they were on their way. Down they floated, merrily flying over the fields, into the forests, onto the red roofs. Soon the villages were covered in white. "I am not staying here," said one snowflake. "I'll ride the wind to the most beautiful mountain in the world. There I will sit at its very top so that everyone can look up and admire me." "I am going to find a great forest," said another snowflake. "There I will sit on a branch and dazzle the bear and the squirrels and all the creatures of the forest." "How boring," said another snowflake. He was larger than the others and felt very important. "I will travel many miles until I reach a great city of jeweled domes and sparkling palaces. There I will sit on the tallest spire where my beauty will outshine every jewel." The smallest snowflake listened in awe to all these grand plans. She longed for a special place of her own. But where could that be? The winter blew stronger. The smallest snowflake looked down and saw great ships on the ocean and tired little fishing boats asleep in the harbors. The snowflakes scattered this way and that. Some settled on cottage roofs, others clung to castle walls. But the smallest snowflake drifted on. No place seemed to be waiting just for her. Some of the snowflakes said, "Come with us. We're going to a land where people live in ice houses and catch fish through holes cut in the icy sea. Our cousins are already there. They will give us a great welcome." But the smallest snowflake knew that could never be her own special place. The wintry wind carried her through the night, over wild and rocky places, across windswept moors until dawn touched the sky. There, in the first light of day, she saw distant hills rising up with stone walls running down their sides. Geese called from a barnyard, and people set about their morning chores. Just below stood a little cottage with a gray slate roof and a red door. Lights glowed through its windows and smoke curled up from its chimney. The smallest snowflake settled down on a little window box filled with earth and looked inside. There was a fire glowing in the fireplace and a table set for one. There were pictures on the wall, and on the table, a picture being painted. The smallest snowflake had never seen such things before. "This is a very special place," she whispered. The smallest snowflake lay in the window box as the cold weeks passed. Sometimes a woman came to the window and smiled down as she painted. One day, the snowflake felt the tiniest movement beneath her. Green shoots were beginning to push up through the earth in her window box. Day by day, the sun grew warmer. Sunbeams played on the window box, and the green shoots grew taller until buds appeared, as white as pearls. They were snowdrops, the first sign of spring. Soon the apple trees and black thorn bushes were covered with blossoms. Among their roots, primroses and violets flowered. Birds sang busily from every bush and tree. The window box was bathed in sunshine, and the sundrop flowers all opened. The smallest snowflake looked up at the tallest snowdrop. She had never seen anything so beautiful. Love filled her heart with such warmth that she melted away with joy. It was spring. All right, now that we've read our story, it's time for us to make our own snowflake. So if you grab your take and make bag and take out the items, you should have 1 cup full of beads and 3 pipe cleaners. The only other thing that we're gonna need to make our snowflake is a little bit of glue. You can use Elmer's glue or paste, whatever you have would work fine. It's just so that we can glue this little gem into the center on both sides of our snowflake. All right, so if you wanna hit pause or take a minute to go grab your glue. Okay, so the first thing that we are gonna do is to take our 3 pipe cleaners and we're gonna shape them into a snowflake. Very important when we're working with pipe cleaners, just be careful because the tips can be sharp, because there is a little piece of metal in there, because that's what makes our pipe cleaner nice and bendy, so just do be careful, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with 2 pipe cleaners and we're gonna cross them just like this. They don't have to be perfectly straight, we can straighten them after, so cross them like that. And then we're gonna take 1 piece from one side and bend it over the top like that and kind of just straighten it out with your finger. And then take that other piece and bend that one down like this. So they're just kind of crossing over. You'll notice they get a little bit shorter, and that's okay. Kind of straighten them out as best you can. Then we're gonna take our 3rd pipe cleaner that we haven't used yet, and we're gonna place that one right in the center. And then the 2 pieces that we didn't cross over last time, we're gonna cross over now. So cross over and press down. And then that same one for the other side, cross over and press down. And you're gonna have something that looks like this, which doesn't really look like a snowflake. But the best part about pipe cleaners is that we can shape them and move them however we want. So that's what we're gonna do next. So kind of move around all the little legs, if you want to call them that, of your snowflake, and straighten them out, and we'll kind of try to make them look more like a snowflake. Good. Okay. It's okay if some are a little bit longer than the others. We're going to put the same amount of beads, so it'll look fine. So when you're happy with the distance between them, then we're going to carefully open up our container. You'll see there's a string in there as well. You can put that aside. And kind of very carefully, if you want to empty them out, we don't want them to go flying all over. They will roll around. So you'll see that we have several different shades of like blue and green beads. There are also 2 gems in there. Those can kind of come out as well. So this is the part where you get to be creative. All we're really going to do is put our beads onto each leg of our snowflake. If you want to do a pattern, you can do that. If you want to do 1 piece with just the sparkly ones, and then maybe 1 piece with the solid colors, that's completely up to you. You can see in this one, I kind of rotated them and kind of did a loose pattern of blue, clear, blue, clear, blue, and then sparkle. Again, totally up to you. Take your time. Maybe if you want to arrange them first to see how you want them. There's going to be 8 beads on each little arm of our snowflake. Okay? So we can all get started. We'll all work along together. Again, this is totally up to you. You put these on in whatever pattern or whatever way that you decide. Remember, we'll do 8 on each piece of our snowflake. Once you have 8 beads on one of the ends, in order to keep them from just falling off, we're simply going to fold that pipe cleaner over. And again, if you just pinch it, because there's that nice wire in there, if you just pinch it down, it'll pinch and those beads won't come off anymore. Okay, but again, do be careful of that sharp part. Okay, so keep on working on that, take your time, and then we'll continue. Okay, so once you're done putting 8 beads on each piece of your snowflake, you'll notice it might be a little scrunched because you're moving it. So just take a second to kind of make it nice and straight. Again, because they're pipe cleaners, we can kind of shape them however we want. Oops, I lost one. Okay, if you feel like they're falling off, remember you just want to bend that piece of pipe cleaner on the end over the edge so that they stay on. Okay. So, there we go. It's starting to look more like a snowflake. So you'll notice in the middle, we could still see that all folded up pipe cleaner. So that's where we're gonna use these pretty little gems that we have. So we're gonna take our glue and put a little dot, just a tiny dot of glue right in that center. And glue on our gem right in the middle so that we don't see that big mess of pipe cleaner in the center there. Give that a second to dry, and then we'll flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing on the back. I'm going to put the glue on here this time because I lost some. Okay. Perfect. All right, so we've got our beads. So the last step is we're just going to take that little piece of string that we had put aside. This step is optional. You don't have to do this, but if you wanted to hang your snowflake, maybe off of the doorknob or maybe pin it up to the wall, you will need something to hang it. So all we're going to do is just pick one of the legs of the snowflake, and you can just kind of tuck it under that pipe cleaner and then give that pipe cleaner another little pinch. Tuck it right in there. Okay, if you're having a hard time, you can also just tie a knot and then it won't go anywhere either. Okay. Oh, I'm losing my gem. Okay. And there we have it. Here is our beautiful snowflake. Great job, everybody.